What is up, guys? In this video, we're going to be talking about the concept of deep work and why deep work is probably the single biggest thing that I attribute to my personal success and many other millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires talk about every single day as being the number one thing that you need to master to actually start to make it work, become financially free, and be successful. Stay tuned. All right, what is up, guys? So in this video, we're gonna talk about the concept of deep work. But first, I wanna talk about a little story so that you guys can all kind of illustrate and feel what I'm going to be talking about. And when I reveal what the number one way that I personally use to actually get into deep work and to truly harness my own focus, right? Because in today's day and age, literally with social media and all of these things that are set up by geniuses, right? Social media, Facebook, Instagram, these are literally apps created by actual geniuses who've gone on to become billionaires, multi-billionaires, right? The reason that they've done that is because they've been able to harness human nature. And what I mean by that is that when you post something and you get comments and likes, you literally get feedback from your friends and from your family and from your peers that gives you a dopamine spike in your brain. You literally get the happiness chemical in your brain that actually makes you addicted to these social media platforms, right? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, these are all set up specifically to try to make you addicted as fast as possible. And I'm not blaming them, right? They're incredibly intelligent. They've gone on to become financially incredibly rich, right? But what you have to understand and what you have to realize is that we have to have the self-awareness to be able to pry ourselves away from that addiction to actually enter a state of deep work, because that is how you actually be successful. And so today, I'm gonna talk about the few things that I do to make sure that I'm able to actually focus in today's day and age. Because if you can't focus, right, you aren't gonna be able to ever achieve the dreams and make the life that you want, right? You're going to constantly be distracted. You're not going to be able to work on the things that you know matter. And so what I'm going to talk about today is the hacks that I personally use myself every single day to maintain actual focus and enter a state of deep work so that I can get things done, create my business, right, and live the life that I actually want to live. Method number one is that I actually lock myself out. And I'm not talking about locking myself out with all the different apps that, lock you out of Facebook and things like that. What I like to do is make sure that my computer has absolutely no push notifications, right? I never see Facebook notifications on my computer. I never see emails. Nothing actually pops up in my computer browser. And then my phone, I will put that on airplane mode, turn off, all types of Wi-Fi on my phone, and I'll literally put it out of my sight. I'll put it in a drawer. I'll put it, I'll throw it away in my car. I'll put it in the trash can for an hour or whatever it is. And then what I do is once my phone's on airplane mode, it's hidden away somewhere that I physically can't see it when I'm at my desk, right? Because you have to have a deep work area, and I use my desk to do that. And so what I do is I hide my phone, turn it off, all the notifications, and I actually search inside of Google for a countdown timer. And once I have a countdown timer, I'll set an hour on the countdown timer, and then I literally work on something that I know I need to do. And you might think to yourself, okay, well, Kevin, an hour, that's not that long. I promise you that if you try it and you actually turn off all notifications and try to enter a state of deep work where you're only focusing on one thing, because remember, focus by definition means devoid of distractions, no distractions. And so focusing means you have nothing else you're doing and you can focus on the task that you know is gonna be most beneficial, have the largest ROI, and be that 20% that's gonna give you 80% of the results you want. And so once I do that, I enter a state of deep work, and then once the timer ends, what I like to do is reward myself, right? At the end of the day, we're all animals and we still have animalistic brains. And so you can actually hack your brain. And what I mean by that is once you do an hour of deep work, take 30 minutes, go play Xbox, go down to the cafe, eat some ice cream, go on a run, walk down to the beach, whatever you enjoy doing, reward yourself, right? And so what that does, it's actually a little brain hack. So you'll start to associate deep work with pleasure, with a reward, right? Because after an hour of deep work, you get 30 minutes to do the things that you want. And you might be saying, okay, Kevin, but why don't I just play Xbox for an hour and a half instead of doing deep work for an hour and then playing Xbox for 30 minutes? Well, the answer is because you will feel guilty, or at least I do, right? If I just play Xbox all day long in my underwear, with Cheeto crumbs all over my face all day, then I feel guilty, right? I feel like I wasn't productive that day, and it starts to make me feel depressed and anxious. But if I do productive things, if I do productive work, if I actually get things done, it makes me feel good, right? Tony Robbins defines happiness as progress, and I couldn't agree with that more. When you're productive, when you're making progress, that is when you feel happiest. And the way that you do that is by getting rid of distractions and allowing yourself to actually actually make progress. And the best way to make progress is by focusing, and the best way to focus is with deep work, by getting rid of distractions, literally putting them out of your actual sight so that you can focus on the things that you need to do. And then when you actually are done with your deep work, once that timer ends, and I promise you it's gonna be harder than you think, once that timer ends, go reward yourself, right? Eat some ice cream, go out, walk in the sun, right? If you're on the East Coast right now, go and walk in some snow or whatever you enjoy doing, right? Reward yourself, and then your brain is gonna start to say to itself, well, when I do deep work, I get this reward, it feels good, right? And then it's gonna be much easier for you to make a habit. That's why it's so difficult to go cold turkey on things that you're normally addicted to, because your brain is literally, sad, and it's yearning for those dopamine rushes of the social media platforms or whatever your addictions are, right? So instead of going cold turkey, do an hour of deep work and then reward yourself. So that's method number one. Method number two is only focusing on one thing per day. And that's actually so much harder than you think it is, especially as you start to become more and more successful as an entrepreneur. But it takes the human brain, right, up to 3 hours to actually switch topics. So if you're writing emails for your autoresponder, or maybe you're making YouTube videos, and then someone messages you and says, hey, Kevin, we have to go over accounting today, right? If you switch gears and go talk about accounting, then once you come back, you forget where you were writing the emails, or you forget what you were doing writing YouTube, and it takes you another, potentially 3 hours to get re-involved in what you were doing, and it absolutely destroys your focus. And so what I like to do is only work on one thing per day. So maybe one day a week, like Monday, I'll do all of the little tasks, like respond to emails and make payments that I hadn't made or that accounting had questions about or something like that. Or I would do all of the little tasks that I know needed to be done, like setting up standard operating procedures or hiring new virtual assistants and going through their actual applications and resumes, right? All of these things that I know need to be done, I'll do them all on one day. I'll only do those little tasks on Monday, and then maybe Tuesday I would only do YouTube videos. Wednesday I would only work on my Facebook group or my my Instagram or other things that I knew were important. And then Friday maybe I would only work on my new course that's coming out, Digital Course Secrets, or things that I just knew I needed to do, right? But only focusing on one thing per day is so helpful to actually allow yourself to enter a state of deep work. So that's everything that I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. It's going to be a very short one, but I want you to do me something right now. Leave me a comment down below that tells me what is your number one reward, right? When you do something super productive, what do you do to relax? Tell me in the comments. Maybe it's play Xbox, maybe it's going and taking your dog on a walk, maybe it's going down to the beach. I want to know what you guys do to relax and to unwind down in the comments, and I will actually read and respond to every single one of them that is humanly possible to do. And if you haven't, guys, make sure you tap the like button and make sure you tap that little red subscribe button right around here somewhere. Turn on notification bell so that you can be the first person to know when we release brand new content about how to be a better, happier, more fulfilled person in 2019. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy hustling.